Okay, ladies and gentlemen, uh, section 1.4 is going to get us talking about histograms and stem leaf plots. Okay, you will see hopefully that histograms are very similar to bar graphs. I would call them cousins. Okay, so histograms and bar graphs are cousins. Stem leaf plots would be a distant cousin to kind of the distant cousin you don't want to talk about with histograms and bar graphs as well. Okay, so we've got bar graphs are cool. Histograms would be the kind of okay, kind of cool cousin. Stem leaf plots, you know, the guy that's kind of left over, still part of the family, but really no one talks about him. Okay, so here is some data we need to know. Okay, defining a histogram right here. Also defining bins. We'll talk about what those mean, and stem leaf plots. Okay, so let's get an example. I'm using the same example for both problems, so you'll see the same thing over and over. So what we've got here is an example of a table that you could possibly see, you know, in a function or in a graph. We could put this into a dot plot form. We could put this into bar graph form. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to create a histogram. A histogram lets us group the data together so it looks a little bit better, because right now we've got some really weird numbers over here on the left, and so we can create a a better shaped, better fitting bar graph type deal with a histogram. The first thing we're going to create is called bins. Okay, bins are our intervals that we're going to create that store the data we have. Okay, so we're going to start, and notice our least amount is 75 cents. Our greatest amount is 485. So there's kind of a big a jump here. So what we're going to do is our first bin, so bin number 1, is going to go from $0 to 99 cents, so 0.99. So all the data that falls into this category is going to go into bin number 1. Bin number 2 is going to be $1 to 1.99. Hopefully you can start seeing a little pattern here. Bin number 3 goes from $2 to 2.99. Number 4 goes from 3 to 3.99. And then bin number 5 goes from $4 to 4.99. Okay, so some of those things we've had before are trying to make a dot plot. It's like, well, all the data is so big, the data is so spread out. A histogram helps us kind of make the data a little bit nicer for us. Excuse me. Okay, so we look here, we're trying to find how many values or how many times do we see a number between 0 and 99 cents. If we look here, we see 2 and 1, that gives us 3. We're looking for now between $1 and $1.99. We see 1, 2, we see these 3 columns here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is there anything between 2 and 2.99? Nope, that's 0. And then 3 to 3.99, we see 3. And then 4 to 4.99, we see 4. So we've got our bins made up right here. Okay, so we're going to draw this out. So we're going to create kind of a bar graph type deal. So what we want to do is in our bar graphs, normally we space things out. Usually when we have a bar graph and you try and do it on a computer, it spaces things out. In histogram, everything's going to be matching. So we're going to have this first line right here represent 0. This second line represents 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we go up to 5. Okay, so if we created a 5th bin, that would be 5 up here. We wouldn't have anything in it, but right now this 1 represents the start of bin 2. Bin 2, and then this represents the start of here. So these bin numbers don't really mean anything to us anymore. Okay, so we're going from 0 to 1, which would be right here. So we're looking here, we've got values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Bin number, this first bin, the 0 from 99 goes up to 3. So I create a bin up to 3, and we fill that in right there. From 1 to 2, it goes up to 5. So it's touching it, it goes up to 5 and over. And then from here over, we fill that in. Okay. 2 to 3's got nothing. And then 3 to 4 gives us another 3. So that's from here to there. And then from 4 to 5 gives us 4. So that's up here, down there, like so. Okay, so we've got a nicer shaped bar graph type deal right here. Okay, the data is grouped together, and there we go. Now the only knock on a histogram is we don't know, if we weren't able to look at this information over here and we were just given what's in this box right here, we don't know specific values. I just know that there's 3 things from 0 to 99 cents. I know there's 5 from 1 to 199. I don't know the exact amount. Okay, so that's the only knock on a histogram. Now when we go to a stem leaf plot, we're going to use the same data. Okay, a stem leaf plot, we're able to group the data together still, but what we're also able to do is we're also able to know exactly what's going on. All right, as far as what the exact data points are. So that's the big benefit with a stem leaf plot. So now what a stem leaf plot is going to look like is we're going to have a very big vertical line going straight down here. We're going to have information on this side and information over here. Okay, and then we're going to need to make sure that we label a key every single time so that we know what this stem leaf plot's trying to tell us. So if I'm looking at this data amount, all right, I see that we've got, number signs, we've got cents here and all that and all that good stuff. Okay, so what I'm looking for and what I'm going to try and do is trying to come up with a way that I can kind of split this data up so that it makes a little bit more sense over here and we can still make a key. So what I'm thinking of doing, is I'm going to go like this. So our key, we're going to have this. I'm going to have 0, 7, and then a vertical line, so that represents this vertical line. 5, that means 0.75, so that means 75 cents. Okay, see how I did that? I've got 0, 5, vertical line 5 means 75 cents. So we're going to put that into our stem leaf plot. So I've got 0, 7, and then I've got 5 right there. That's 75 cents, but how many times does it show up? It shows up twice. So I write the 5 2 times. I've got then 0, 8. That shows how many times? And then we've got the 5 here. That shows up how many times? Just 1. We've got 1, 0, or 1, 0, and I put in a 5. So that means $1.05. That shows up once. We've got then 1, 2, and then we've got the 5, 5, 5, because it shows up 3 times. And then we've got 1, 7. That shows up, and then the 5 shows up once. We've got then 3, 1, 0, 0, 0, because it shows up 3 times. And then we have 4, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 5s there. That means 485, it shows up 4 times. Okay, so this looks a lot like a dot plot. You can replace these 5s with dots and be the same thing, but what it does, and we have different type of data, we could have, if we had 76 cents, I could put a 6. If we had 76 here, let's see if I can get a different color going. I could have 6 and 6 right there. So instead of having 0, 7, and then 6 right here in the middle, we could have 6 tack on. So anything in the 70 cents range fits in here, anything in the 80-cent range fits in here, and so forth. And so that's how we're able to group the data better. That's what a stem leaf plot does for us, but it kind of takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more thinking because we have to come up with this key right away. And if you don't have a key, it's wrong. Here is your try on your own problem. Make sure you're creating a histogram and stem leaf plot of the data, and make sure you're getting your summary written as well. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know, and have a good day.